I spent nearly 100,000 AP on KVK Barbarians. Was it worth it? Let's find out. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Rise of Kingdoms gameplay episode from your very own Shappy Gaming. Now, you may remember a video I made just a little while back. I'm a massive fan of Marauders. I think that Marauders are far better than KVK Barbs, and a lot of that is based on the gems that you get. So was I right? Are Marauders better than KVK Barbs? I had a lot of people asking me in the comment section, Shappy, are they? And honestly, I didn't know. I've always thought that they've been better, but no one's really ever tested it, at least not to my knowledge. So I said, hey, you spent 97,800 AP on Marauders. Why not do the same on KVK Barbs? And so I did. And today I hope to answer the question once and for all, are Marauders actually better than KVK Barbs? A lot of people say, Shappy, the materials from KVK Barbs are so much more valuable and you get more speed ups. It's not possible. There's no way. And so I did it. What potentially no one else has ever done before, and hopefully we can actually show you definitively, I can show you definitively, where the truth really stands. Now, we did get 80,496 chests and a bunch of gems from these barbs. And these are KVK barbs. They're level 46 and up. So I can find some on here and show you. They were level 46 and up, and I actually did this during Strategic Reserve. And if you're going to do the same, I would highly recommend that that's the time that you do it, because that's really when you're going to get the most bang for your buck. And in KVK, it's nice because you also get a little bit of honor. But we'll be talking about that a little bit more once you get to the actual rewards themselves. So, just in the spirit of transparency, why don't I show you guys exactly what I started with? So right now, you're actually looking at all of the awesome AP that I started with. As you can see, I had a ton. I had a ton of AP, and I primarily used my 50s and 100s, which are easy to get. You can get them from forts, and you can then get them from the weekly VIP as well. So not bad at all. And here's what I ended with. As you can see, I used up a ton of AP, and I actually really tried to make sure I used pretty much exactly the same amount that I used in my Marauder video. So if you haven't checked that out, top right side of your screen now, be sure to go check it out. I think it's really good for comparison. But overall, I think I used a ton of AP, and I thought it was worth it because A, it answered this question, but B, it got me a lot of crystals, and it got me some honor. Now, the actual rewards themselves, though, may be a little bit of a different conversation. So, here is all of the resources that I started with. I had a bunch, and again, this was completely focused on barbs. I did nothing else. I didn't open any alliance gifts. I didn't claim anything. So this is purely barbs. And what you're really going to want to focus here on is the first value. So for the 1,000 food, 1,000 wood, 1,000 or 750 stone, and 500 gold. That's what's going to be changing, because as you can see, again, from these barbs, you will actually only be getting those from the barbs themselves. So as I click in, you can see you get 1,000 food, you get 1,000 stone, etc. And so those are the only different resource packs that you're going to be getting from these barbs, which actually made it fairly easy to examine. So let's take a look at what we finished with now. Obviously, I changed over to PC version, but as you can see, I finished with 568,576, and don't worry, you don't have to click back and compare. I did it at the end. I also finished with 1.467 million wood. If anyone wants to trade wood for gold, please. I don't use archers. And we finished with a fair bit of stone there, which I'm sure made good use of during KVK, 1.279,430,000. So overall, we had a lot of resources. Now, we also got a ton of speed ups. What you may or may not know is that KVK barbs drop 5-minute healing speed ups, They drop 1 and 5 minute training speedups, and they drop 1 minute universal speedups, which again made this really easy to compare. So here's what we're looking at when we started. As you can see, I had no 1 minute training speedups, and I had next to no 5 minute training speedups. Pretty negligible. Honestly, I was really poor. I'm in KVK, guys. Be a little forgiving. And here you go. Here's the view of my research speedups. Really didn't matter. You don't get any from here. And then here's the view of my universal speedups. So yes, I have a ton. Don't worry. A lot of these got used in the last KVK battles. But as you can see, I had 49,000 universals, and spoiler alert, I had a lot more after. What I will point out here is I had 0 5-minute healing speedups going into this. So here is our ending. 16,000 1-minute training speedups, tons. 1.56 thousand training speedups. So you get a lot of speedups from this event. I'm not going to deny it. Going through and hitting barbs is pretty rewarding if you're just using your AP. But that's not the question we're trying to answer today. The question we're trying to answer is it better than Marauders? Which is what my original statement was, right? Marauders are the best. I don't know, are they? And last but not least, here's our 1 minute speedups there. Now, the other reason that people say they love KVK barbs is for the materials. So here are the materials I started with. As you can see, again, they only drop the advanced and the normal materials. So you only really need to pay attention to those. But I started with 142 advanced and 577 normal leather, 71 advanced and 149 normal iron, 88 advanced bones, and 528 normal bones. I do have an Excel spreadsheet which I'm going to pull up, and it's also going to be linked within the community Discord link, which is going to be in the description right over there. So feel free to go check that out on your own time. As for Ebony, we had 165 advanced and then 1,917 normal. Yes, I am creating Ebony very frequently. And here's what we finished with. So 95 advanced, 361 normal, 102 advanced and 620 normal, and 187 advanced and 2,242. So you definitely get a lot of materials. First and foremost, you get a lot of materials, speedups, and resources from Marauders or from KVK barbs. It's definitely worth it if you're spending your AP. They're pretty good rewards. They're better than Home Kingdom barbs for sure. Where we lacked was honestly in the gems department. So I only ended up getting 4,920 gems from 98,000 AP. That's ridiculous. Compared to Marauders, I spent the same amount and I got 9,500. So that's my first kind of big bummer there. And I'm actually going to open those gems on camera for you guys now. I've been saving them. I haven't touched them, but I'm finally going to use them because I wanted to show you that it was all legit. And so we've claimed our gems now. But you may be wondering, Shappy, you've shown us your before, you've shown us your after. What are we really seeing here? And so I got you. So if we pull up our lovely Excel sheet here, which you should be able to see, if it's small, I understand, but I'm going to walk you through it anyways. So we started with a ton of corn and wood and stone. Yes, corn, food, same thing. And we finished with a lot. Realistically, the difference was we picked up 53 boxes, 53,592 boxes of food, 54,239 boxes of wood, and 53,180 boxes of stone, and 57,829 boxes of gold. So we got a lot of resources from doing this. Honestly, that was kind of nice. We're in KVK. I needed the resources. They're good to have. But honestly, compared to Marauders, I was getting drops of 1.5 million food. It didn't really compare. I think that Marauders really did show up better here. And so what you really care about is the totals and the difference here. In total, I ended up getting 53,592,000 food, and that's not including the 80,000 chests we have here. 54,239,000 wood, 39,885,000 stone, and of course, thank you Lilith so much, 28,914,000 gold, which honestly, between all of this, I think that heals about 2 marches. So really not terribly useful. And honestly, again, I think I got more from Marauders. But what you really care about here is the speed ups. So I did the math, I added up all of the speed ups and the difference, and I only had about 29.26 days of speed ups. Well, are Marauders better? Well, based upon my previous video, and I do know that there is some randomness there, and I actually got it wrong in that video, I had 47.375 days of speed ups. So that is another 18 days of speed ups for the same exact amount of AP. Granted, I was able to spend more AP faster in KVK, I'll give you that, but for speed ups purely, it was more valuable for me to spend my AP on Marauders, which originally was my original suspicion. So it looks like I was right there. Now, what about materials? Everyone says, Shappy, it's not about the speed ups, it's not about the resources, it's about the materials. And this is where things actually got really interesting. I went through, watched the original video of my opening, and I actually broke down all the materials into the normal count of what you would be getting. And so in KVK Barbs, I got 320 normal pieces of leather, 308 normal pieces of iron, 148 pieces of bone, and 413 pieces of advanced ebony. I thought that was pretty good, right? People love the materials you get from KVK Barbs. But then I went through and I watched my other video, and I got 420 pieces of leather, 296 pieces of iron. That's the one spot where we lost out. 148 pieces of bone, identical. And then 488 pieces of ebony. So overall, for the exact same amount of AP, Marauders were head and shoulders above KVK Barbs. Now, there is some value in doing KVK Barbs. I'm not going to tell you there's not. The value in doing KVK Barbs is through the honor and crystals that you get when you're in KVK. As you can see, I'm now ranked 13 in my alliance for honor. That's huge. That's really helpful. I got a bunch of achievements. I got the honor achievements. I cleared all of the barb achievements. I did the crystal quest achievements. But to answer the all-encompassing question of, are KVK Barbs a better use of your AP than Marauders? I honestly don't think so. Marauders are going to be better. Sure, you can chain Barbs. You can also chain Marauders. And so, in my honest recommendation and opinion, when pre-KVK Marauders come around, be sure you're using your AP on them. Thank you. Shappy out.